The effectiveness of public meetings depends on the ability of the facilitator to manage time, information, and people simultaneously. Now, if you think about it, the centerpiece of our democracy is allowing people to have their say. And that can be a tricky matter sometimes. People really don't get to go to Congress and say, hey, I'd like 5 minutes on your agenda, or even the Pennsylvania Assembly and say, hey, I'd like to speak on something. But at these local community public meetings, they do. So if we want to manage that, tips such as setting an agenda, providing background information to participants, assigning a timekeeper and note taker, and encouraging active participation and a free exchange of ideas while handling disruptions, keeping the meeting moving, and summarizing the discussion and recommendations can help make the difference between an orderly, productive meeting and a free-for-all. First, let's talk about setting an agenda. An advanced agenda lets participants know what will be discussed and helps to ensure that the right people are in the room. The agenda will be your roadmap in case meeting participants go off on tangents. Now, we've all done this. You sit around with some friends around a coffee table. That discussion can go all kinds of different directions. But at a public meeting, we really need to keep that focused. It's a useful tool in prioritizing what will be addressed and in keeping the discussion on track. If you arrange your agenda in the order of importance, important items will be covered, even if you run into a time crunch at the end. Next, before the meeting starts, provide background information to participants. If you're going to share information during the meeting, double-check your equipment is in working order and you have everything you need. Your projector, your whiteboard, flipboard, markers, all that kind of stuff. You can really use momentum if your equipment doesn't work or if you have to look for an extension cord, those sorts of things. You may want to assign a timekeeper and a note taker. This may already be taken care of in the case of public meetings, presentations in front of political bodies, that sort of thing. But consider assigning one for all meetings. They can help keep the meeting progressing and on track. And if you're the facilitator of the meeting, it's up to you to start the discussion, encourage active participation. An audience is sometimes initially hesitant to speak up, so having an icebreaker or warm-up question ready can make all the difference. Make sure everyone's thoughts and ideas are heard by encouraging a free exchange of ideas. Act as a gatekeeper. Don't allow just the more expressive individuals to dominate or side discussions to take place. And pay attention to nonverbal cues from quieter individuals and make sure they have a chance to contribute as well. If the meeting includes some complex topics, you may have to handle disruptions. Don't take it personally, but don't be caught off guard. Be ready with a strategy to address hecklers or people who try to hijack your agenda. State that questions will be answered at the end of the presentation, and please hold comments until then. And ask that questions be written down and submitted, or have a flip chart to park topics for later. Keep the meeting moving forward at a comfortable pace and be respectful of people by starting punctually, not going over what's already been covered, and finishing on time. Don't run late. Ask your timekeeper to help you stick to the schedule. You may find it useful to quickly summarize the debate on each agenda item before moving on to the next item. At the end of the meeting, summarize the discussion and the recommendations again. This will give participants a sense of progress and accomplishment, and will also be very helpful for your note taker. If an action is resolved, determine on the spot who will be responsible for carrying it out. Identify any actions to be taken and make sure that this is recorded in the meeting's minutes. These facilitation strategies should help make your public meeting efficient, effective, and productive for everyone involved.